Today's code item of the week is maintain respectful behavior when everyone is working, driving a company vehicle, or wearing the company logo. You are always representing this company. Ben Dow.
Shorter version. Show regard for others. Be positive and practice courtesy and alignment.
Thank you, Ben. And just a reminder, I don't have a slide for it, but the Buck pool closes tonight, and Matt Siganowicz is accepting Venmo. So if you need to Venmo him, reach out to him today. I know some of us are waiting until the close of bow season for this split before we pay him money. So if you're going to pay him tonight. All right, we are 43 days without a recordable injury, 2 days without a first aid injury, and 2 days without a vehicle incident. Today we're going to talk about job site security. Ooh, sorry, I was going on the wrong screen here. All right. All right, today we're going to talk about job site security and theft prevention. There's nothing that's new here. It's all just a reminder. So while we're here, this month ECI has seen an uptick in theft. A chainsaw was stolen from an ECI truck parked at an employee's home that was well off the beaten path. A tool trailer was broken into using a hidden key, resulting in thousands of dollars in losses. And we also had some credit cards stolen out of a vehicle at somebody's home. This is important, especially now. It affects everybody here because we have the ESOP and all that. Anything that gets stolen is really just hurting us in terms of our money down the road. So make sure that you keep everything well secured because that's going to benefit you years down the line. Tips for prevention. This is all common sense, but lock your vehicle. Most of the time when it comes to anything regarding vehicles, the door is unlocked. And if they steal the vehicle completely, the keys are in it. They're not out there breaking windows that often, and they're definitely not out there hot wiring cars, except for maybe every once in a blue moon. But last year, every vehicle that we had that got stolen had the keys hanging or on the seat. So make sure you lock your toolboxes. I know sometimes after they get a couple winters in them, the locks don't work too well. So if those don't work anymore, it might be time to replace the locks on them if that's possible. Don't leave any valuables in plain sight. If you have a tablet or a laptop in your truck, don't leave it on the passenger seat. Somebody might glance in and that might be worth breaking a window for, or at least trying the door. If you don't have a way to protect the stuff in your truck, like tonneau cover or toolboxes, reach out to the shop and you might need a different setup for the truck that you have. So and whenever possible, you want to park near lights and security cameras. Obviously, not everybody has security cameras at their house, but if you have one that has a light on it and you can park your company truck near it, then that's preferred for everybody. But obviously, if you don't have one or it doesn't work like that, then you can't do it. Tips for prevention. You want to block trailers and Connex boxes with equipment when possible, or we have more and more Connex boxes out there, which I think are a lot more secure than the job trailers to leave out there for a while, which is good. Ensure that you have the proper locks for trailers and the Connex boxes. We're out with the 304s and the 383s, or some people call the 305 keys, are in. If you haven't gotten them yet, reach out to Matt or myself or Elliot. Take steps to prevent theft of an entire trailer. So if you need to lock the ball up on the trailer, the pintle up on the trailer, do that. Sometimes you can just loop a chain through it and then put a lock on it, and that works too to keep somebody from hooking up to it. You want to avoid the use of HIDTA keys, and if that's something you really need, you should consider using a combination lockbox that you can put somewhere. Once again, people aren't going to put that much effort into breaking in most of the time, but if they know where a key is, or they can find a key, or something's unlocked, they're going to steal stuff. And other tips and tricks. If you would like a security camera for your site, reach out to Matt or myself. We have a few more coming in next week. If you see something, say something. And just because you're off the beaten path or in a low crime area doesn't mean that theft won't happen. Don't leave out any tools that could help a thief in their endeavors. So if you have grinders or target saws or something like that, don't leave it next to your trailer because people might use that to break in. And any thefts that you have, report immediately to Matt, myself, and the police. All right, that wraps up my end of things.
Thanks, Tom. Yeah. Keep everything locked up. So you have those locks with you guys when you're out there?
Yep. Yeah, I have a couple boxes in my truck. I know Matt has some as well.
Yep.
And this is the time of year where we really start to see it. So make sure, especially with the holiday season kicking off this weekend with deer season, that you keep everything well secured.
So those 383s will be the third generation lock that I've seen since I've been here. When I came here, we had 2006, and then we got the 304s probably 20 years ago.
Yeah, we've
So
had the
it's about
304s
time.
as long as I can remember. So
Yep. Yep. So probably everyone in the world has one.
yeah.
Okay. So can you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay. Well, there we are. I put the new photo of as many of the company as I've seen together ever in one photo at the top of our email. Okay, so announcements. Just for everyone's benefit, I left the announcements we read through last week to just tell some basic information about the ESOP. I faded it a little bit, but I left it on there. If you guys want to read it, it's got some of the basics of the ESOP that we've been going over. I added 2 bullet points. It's about how we earn ownership in the company. We'll earn ownership each year. Beneficial ownership of the shares are going to be allocated based on our compensation for the year. So we're going to get through the whole year, and they're going to figure out, okay, how much money did you earn? And then they're going to take that and divide it by the total amount that everyone earned, and that'll give you a percentage of the shares that are going out each year, of beneficial ownership to the company. In the first 2 years, the allocation of the shares is going to be modified. They're going to modify it to give people that have seniority and have been here many years a little bit more of a bump in the initial 2 years of the stock allocation for beneficial ownership. So more of that stuff's we're putting that stuff together now. So we will be coming out. I think Doug and I were talking last night. Doug Goldsmith and I were talking about coming out to some of the sites and getting together with some smaller groups and answering some questions about the ESOP. We also have the summary plan that we're going to be mailing out to everyone. It's about 30 some odd pages that has all of the rules of how it works, similar to the stuff we get from the 401k, but I think it's actually it's simpler to read than the 401k stuff if you've ever gotten that stuff, I think. We've got some health and dental insurance news, online access. So all of us here are going to receive a link, and it's going to come from Melanie from the ECI admin. And it's going to be a link to a thing called EASE, EASE. I think I have it up right here. That's what you get when it comes up. You get a little login, and you start out by logging in for the first time. It prompts you to set up a password. So if you didn't get it by this weekend, contact Melanie on Monday. I would contact her on Monday if you didn't get this link. And what it does is it walks us through all of the stuff that we usually do at the end of the year, where we have to fill it out on paper, to opt in or out. It has all the rates of the benefits, and it walks you through, health, yes or no, dental, vision, which is a new one, and all the different things. So be looking for that email. Some of it will have come through on your ECI account, and those that don't have an ECI account, Melanie's sending it to the email that they have on file for everyone. I believe they have an email for every person here. So if it's one that you don't check regularly, it could be one that's linked to your home email. But Melanie can tell you which email she's using. If you have a question, you can just give her a call up front. There's also a link here on the email for the 2025 benefits, and it has the rates on it that you will also see when you log into EASE. You just click this link right here. There's new dental plan information in your check stub this week. If you don't get a check stub, or if you care to just click on this link here on your email, they'll link you to the dental memo that went out this week. Moving forward, we're putting the reminder out to everyone again this week for winterizing equipment. One of the basic winterizations that we do is drain anything that has water in it, because water expands when it freezes and it breaks pumps and it causes all kinds of damage. So when in doubt, drain it out. There's some winter fuel. The winter fuel starting to go into the tanks now. That's cut for winter so that it doesn't gel up. If you got a piece of equipment that's been sitting there for months and months and you haven't run it, or we haven't run it, we could have a problem when it gets cold for gelling. Pat and Chico and the guys in the shop, they have the 911 and the other additives that we can use for the fuel. Let me see. Is McKinney on? Are you on, Ben?
Yep.
I didn't know if Ben wanted to say something about the winter fuel, the tank security, and any of the fuel log stuff. I didn't have anything prepared, but maybe if you wanted to verbally give any reminders.
Yeah. So basically today on the 15th, halfway through November, is when our distributors, at least Global and Roberts, start switching over to an unwaxed winter blend. So like Mr. Dow said, anything that's been sitting has summer fuel in it as of today. And until we use it and then put new fuel in it, we'll still have summer fuel. So using the white bottle, every fill up based on the prescribed dosage on the bottle is smart to help avoid gelling. And, and then getting the winter fuel through the system helps. Keeping tanks empty, so filling tanks at the end of the day, both transfer tanks and equipment tanks, helps avoid condensation because water is the enemy. Keeping water out of the fuel stream, really important. And additionally, we're going to have another tank set here in the yard. We've got our off-road tank, which at the next fill up will have a winter blend in it. We're going to get a smaller kerosene tank set next to it. We can't run our equipment on pure kerosene. It's very bad for the pumps. There's no lubrication, but we can cut 25% Kero, or even a bit more if it's really cold. So that's going to be an option here. There'll be a second tank, and the fuel logs will be updated to account for that. That's it.
So that's important. Don't completely fill it with Kero if it's empty, right?
Correct.
If it's a diesel. Thanks, Ben.
Yeah, make sure you're locking the transfer tanks too. We have plenty of locks. Make sure you're locking them.
Yeah. Thanks, Tom. Thanks, Ben. Congratulations, Don McKenzie, if you're out there. Don was promoted to foreman, I believe, last week. So congratulations. Give him a pat on the back and listen to him when he tells you what to do today if you're on his crew, please. Okay. We've got some links to our social media. And if anyone hasn't done it yet, let Melanie know if you got a physical this year and you haven't heard back from them, because I got an email yesterday that they said that they emailed everyone that was enrolled in that Care Rewards program, where we're going to get a $50 gift card for all of those who participated in some type of a physical exam this year. So if you had an annual physical and they don't know about it because you've used another means of paying it that other than our insurance or Champlain Medical, let them know. Doesn't take much. Just give them something that shows them that you did that, and then you're going to be up for a $50 gift card. And we're going to be all of us that have that physical and get the card are entered into a raffle where they're going to give away a $250 gift card. So we've got a couple more weeks to sign up for that, but we've got until the 1st to sign up, and I believe they'll be giving those cards out after the 1st of December at some point. There's a link to her document that explains that right here on the email. So you can just click that link with the underlined section and you can get to that. Tom Pigeon let us know about the buck pool. So there's another reminder about the buck pool here on our email. And the last day to enter, as Tom said, is November 15th, which is today. And Tom, you had said that we can just call Saganowitz if we want to know how to Venmo him money or something, I guess, right?
Yeah, because a lot of us are waiting until about 5:05 this evening to enter, just in
Oh.
case.
Okay.
Yeah, if you guys just want to call, you guys can just Venmo me it, and I can put you on the list. I'll have it on my Venmo. So definitely, let's get in there. You win some money.
Yeah, and we'll keep our eye on him to make sure that everything's above board with this Venmo stuff. We'll keep an eye on him.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna check the box that says it was for goods and service, so that way you have to pay tax on it. So
Great.
We've got a link to our primary wellness care summary here. We also have a link to get to the employee assistance program. It's been highly utilized this year by a lot of us. Any problem or issue that you have, give them a call. And this week we have Mr. Heath. Are you on? We have Mr. Heath, who's going to go through the project of the week. You want me to share, or do you going to do it? You going to do it?
I just did. Yeah, we're all set.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Yep.
Good morning, everybody. Today's project of the week is the emergency repair of the Bolton Valley Access Road in Bolton, Vermont. ECI responded to an emergency call from the town of Bolton after the July 2024 flooding event. The town has a number of steep mountainous roadways that were badly damaged during and after the storm event. The Bolton Valley Access Road was completely destroyed, and access to the 100+ residences at the top of the hill and the Bolton Valley Ski Resort was completely cut off. ECI quickly mobilized equipment, manpower, and materials to the job site. As you will see from the pictures below, an existing 16-foot diameter culvert was breached after over 8 inches of rain fell in a short amount of time. It is also believed that an upstream beaver dam released, sending a large volume of water into the drainage network instantaneously. Major sections of the roadway were cut over 10 feet deep, and other portions had boulder and sediment deposits that were about 6 feet deep or more. ECI representatives walked the damaged roadway, coordinated with the town of Bolton, and developed a plan of attack to get the road passable and to rebuild the roadway and drainage network. ECI started at the bottom of the hill and built up a 1-lane passable roadway up to the top of the damaged areas so that we could reestablish access to the residents and the ski resort at the top of the hill. Once that was complete, we went back down to the bottom of the damaged areas and completely rebuilt the roadway and drainage network, working uphill. The town of Bolton wanted the work to be done right and were willing to pay for other improvements that could help the roadway withstand future flooding events. So we worked with the town to design and build the improvements, which included larger drainage swales, changes in flow patterns, and additions of crossroad culverts. ECI is also providing all of the necessary documentation needed so that the town can receive emergency funding from FEMA. This project resulted in the establishment of a great working relationship with the town, and they have hired ECI to rebuild the destroyed Bolton Notch Road, rebuild portions of the Boys Club Road between the two interstate underpasses, and we are also working through the necessary political steps to become Bolton's emergency response contractor. So the pictures of the damage are actually a lot more interesting than the pictures of the repair work that we did. So I'll have most of these pictures are of that. This is what we showed up to on the day that they called us. There was just boulders and sediment that had been deposited. Major portions of the roadway network were completely cut. That's a Mercedes SUV that tried to come down here at what appears to be maybe the moment that the beaver dam released, or shortly after, and drove into these holes, and then the car rolled down. The car was completely destroyed. This is a great picture of what this looked like. I mean, on both sides of the road we had major cuts, and then all the material from the river and from the roadway and from adjacent to the roadway all washed downstream and deposited in the flatter portions of the roadway. So here's a deposit location. So as you can see on the left-hand side here, this is where the road started to flatten out, and there was just a mountain of rock and boulder and asphalt and other pieces of debris. The residents up there, did their best we did our best to help them. I know we had a side-by-side there. We were helping people get groceries up to the top, and we were doing all kinds of stuff to help them out. Here's a picture. Right behind me is the big 16-foot diameter culvert that was breached, and it came over the top of the wing wall of that dam of that culvert, and then washed out the roadway here. This is kind of the beginning point of all the damage. And that's an existing sewer line that was damaged as part of the. Here's a picture of Randy Piper, who was the lead of going up there and fixing this. And just to give you size and scale, there's the side by side and Randy and the amount of material that had deposited in just one of the locations. Here's an image of us when we started to just create a passable lane so that folks could get up and down the mountain. So we really did this in 2 separate steps. This is an image of us building rebuilding the roadway and making a really wide and robust drainage swale adjacent to the road so that we have an overflow system for that culvert now. This is an image of us performing some of the paving work. And Richie and Devin and Hunter on the ground getting stuff ready for paving. And then this is the culvert that was breached. This is huge. When this thing was installed, I'm sure everybody that built this said to themselves, why are they putting in this enormous culvert? This thing is way too big. And it is. It's huge. When you look at the little river that goes into this and you look at the water that usually flows through it, it's hard to understand why they built it this big, but it wasn't big enough for that storm or the Beaver Dam release.
That's 16 feet
Yeah.
diameter. Wow.
Yep. Yeah. And that's it. I can navigate the archive photo for you, Ben, if you'd like.
Yeah. Go down just a little. That's the GMC bridge in Bolton, just down from where you guys worked. And that was in 2014.
Oh, sorry. I should just zoom out for you.
It's okay.
There you go.
Yeah, that was 2014. There's Dale doing his normal thing up on top. If you look way over to the right, there's Jimmy Laughlin when he was looking good back then, and he had the 750 crane up there when they were rigging that bridge across the river, that GMC project. Pretty cool picture.
I think we had both. Yeah, we had a big. They wanted to do as much of it as they could, and they did a lot of it, and we played a good support role. It was kind of neat.
Yeah, it's kind of cool to see Jim. He was in good shape back then. We miss him.
Yep.
And Dale looks younger now than he did then. What the heck, Dale? Anyway.
Dale looks the same.
All right, everybody. Thanks for everyone's help, and we'll turn it back over to safety.
Yeah, have a good day. Have a safe day. If you're hunting this weekend, be safe. Good luck. And if you watch in a group setting, make sure to send over your attendance, please.
And lock your stuff up.
Yep.
Okay. See y'all.
Thanks, everybody.